brother.
Let me get the music off and then we'll wait.
Was there music?
Yeah, there's a little bit of music.
Hey, there's the music.
It was playing anyway because StreamYard, you know. There we go. All right. There we go.
Great
Music's
stuff.
on. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Ats and Offers studio and the Wade and Carter show. Live from beautiful downtown Victoria. Ash Brent here with you on a Monday, as we are every single Monday through Friday.
Did you see my new Ats and Offer hat?
It's a nice one, yeah.
If you go by there, you might be able to score one for yourself. The Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Durnham Feed. For everything you need, there's Durnham Feed. We had a little drizzle, some rain around Victoria this weekend. Really seeded in.
Skirted the thunderstorms that seem to plague north of us.
The steady rain just really helped my 21-7-14 blend. I'm very flattered, and hats off to all of you, because Jackie Parsons, I always just kind of drop that little bait. I go, hey, man, you think our advertising's doing anything for you? She's like, oh, man, we sell more fertilizer and more Balon than any. Oh, gosh. Yes, absolutely. By the way, if you think that you could benefit from having this exposure, if you work regionally, if you're in other counties, Calhoun, DeWitt, so-and-so, Refugio, like Allen's Record Services, it helps Allen's. We actually have kept Allen's top of mind for years now, 578-6300. That's Allen's Record Service. Reach out. You can message us on here, or you can call that number that you've got. It rings on my phone, 894-4020. You can call me anytime. We are able to take on another sponsorship. And I want to give Ash an attaboy here, because way back when we first started, we always agreed to only deal with businesses that we believe in. We either have, and I think now, with the exception of USA Concrete Coatings and Foundation Repair, I have not used them.
I know some who have.
I know people who have, and I know them very well. I write their insurance.
Yeah.
But we only deal and represent people that we have had dealings with. And if you fit that category and you want a personal testimonial ad, we can do that for you. 72 degrees in Victoria under mostly cloudy skies, heading to a high today of 85. It's that deal where, see, it shows here it's going to be windy this afternoon.
Yeah.
That's the predominant weather emotion. But there's also a 45% chance of some showers.
Yeah, but
I'm not expecting much rain
No.
today. It's just kind of cloudy and damp.
yeah, we didn't get near the rain that they were calling for.
Moist. It's moist.
Not a good day to be on the golf course.
No. Unless you're Rory McIlroy, then he's probably still up.
Yeah.
I'm certain he's celebrated. He played like a champion yesterday. He had the lulls.
At times.
Augusta lulls, yeah. But withstood the heat to
What?
win
Had
his second
shot
jacket.
what was 12 under after the second round, had a 6-stroke lead, which was the largest 36-hole lead ever in Masters history.
When you think about it, don't you just say, including Tiger?
Yeah.
Because Tiger won, I remember Tiger being 19 under, but he didn't start off there after 2 days. Yeah.
And Rory basically shoots par the next 2 days to win it at 12 under.
Yeah, essentially. It was interesting to watch some of the people come and go. Justin Rose made a surge
And fell back.
They
showed him after he got to the lead, and then he was kind of walking a little bit.
He's very British, He's
He had a little bit pep in his step, and he seemed a little bit overconfident. And sure enough, he drops 2 shots.
How old is Justin Rose?
45, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's, there was a time.
Remember when he broke in as a 17-year-old because he had a good showing, I think, at the Open? He didn't win it, but he was top amateur, like top 3, I think.
Yeah.
And then he
Decided
decided
to
to
go
turn pro, and he kind of went backslid a little bit. And then he turned out to be a pretty good player.
You got to figure he's made a gazillion dollars over the last 28 years.
Has not won a major, though, has he?
Mm,
Or has he won one?
I don't. Didn't he? Let me look. I'll look.
I didn't. I thought he was still. Maybe they were saying he was searching for his first green jacket, but I thought they were saying he was looking for his first major at 45.
Let's.
Window's got to be closing if that's the case.
Well, it's funny because it was unheard of for Nicholas in '86 when he was like 46 years old. Like, this is unbelievable.
Did you see the ads this year? They had a bunch of kids recreating. I think it was for Let's Play Golf, trying to get kids involved in the game. They had a little girl being Nicholas. They had a little another little girl being what's his name with the Bubba Watson with his miracle shot out of the rough.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Pretty cool little commercial.
He won the 2013 U.S. Open.
Okay, so he's won one major.
At Marion, though. That's in Ohio.
Yeah. Is it?
I think so.
Indiana, I thought. No?
Same thing.
Yeah, close enough. Ricky King, Scott Tomko, Scott Snow on the podium this morning. Bobby Leister, Arena Scherer, Junior Samples.
I said that to
Mark
you in
Kurtz.
the same vein as, Jesus was born in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Right there in the breadbasket of the King James version of the Bible that he authored. And then somebody will say, no, he didn't. Fact check.
Lisa Poole, Greg Garcia, Wendy Hughes Garcia, Heather Stewart, Linda Chris, Tammy Williams, Will Vincent. Good morning.
Hi, Will.
Tammy Keeling, Andrew Alvarez, Micah Patton, Sherry Jacobs, John Anderson. I think John had a birthday over the weekend. Let's see. There you go. Junior says USA Concrete Coating is one of the best ideas they had in that house. Diana Hawes. Good morning. Scott Tomko, Monty Howard, Norm Burgess, Clayton Hill.
Hi, Norm. Hey, Clayton.
Everybody checking in. David Glass, Jordan Glass. Glad you're all here, everybody.
Junior
since we talked Masters, First State Bank of Louise, Astros update.
What are you going to say?
7 in a row.
They're just terrible right now. And
when you have no pitching, you got to have hitting. And right now they're not, except for Altuve and Yordan, who are still hitting well above 300. Nobody else is hitting the ball in that team.
No. And I did watch
still jacked
some yesterday with Isak Paredes hit a couple of seeds that just got caught. Look at there. Andrew Alvarez. Marion is in Ohio.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that.
There you go. But they're hitting the ball. They're hitting the ball. It's just going to people. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
I think in the long run, they're still going to be okay. It's not like we're nowhere near a fifth of the way through the season. I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying they've got to get something going. You need to get Hader back. You need Eric Getty to come back to the big club.
Hader isn't going to help him when you can't.
Well, yeah.
When you don't have a lead going into the 8th of the 9th.
You don't need a closer when you're already a loser. Yeah, true story. Cody Bauman checks in. Good morning, sir. Brand us. Use brand us.
They finish off that series with them. This could be, I don't remember since they won it in 17, the World Series I'm talking about. I don't remember when the Astros have been swept in back-to-back series.
Well, the Astros need to do.
And they might be if they lose to the Mariners tonight.
They need to take a playbook, a page out of the Longhorns playbook, and just get that third game dismissed so you don't get swept.
Because of the weather yesterday?
Yeah, so the Aggies beat the Longhorns Friday and Saturday handily. The Fighting Texas Aggies looking good, getting a little revenge victory, if you will, over their now hated individual being Jim Schlossnagle, their former coach. They decided that, by the way, the Aggies, they hiss. They don't boo. That's their thing. No, when the big coach put his foot on the top step, the boo birds started, and they booed Jim Schlossnagle, who I think arguably, if their shoe was on my foot, I would agree with them 100%. They look back and say that while I'll give you the argument, you've hired and fired coaches. You haven't fired so many, but you've hired lots of coaches. Schlossnagle was at the College World Series, and it's unable to be disputed negotiating with Chris Del Conte for his next gig.
Yep.
Isn't it arguable that Schlossnagle was distracted and probably not giving his current job his full attention, even though, and I know coaches negotiate, you've got to do what you got to do, so I can see both sides of it. But if I'm an Aggies fan, do I have a little bit of a leg to stand on being irritated with the guy Number one, because he's negotiating his next job during my only College World Series final
that
ever.
Probably rubs him more the
Correctly
wrong way
wrong.
than him leaving them.
I agree. And
then going to Texas doesn't, there's salt on that wound, right? That adds a little bit to it.
But it's like I told somebody the other day, in all fairness and with more than what's due respect, if
why are there no tampering charges at that level? Like, if you think about it, with the money involved,
how are you going to prove
Division I call it? Well, because
he said he met him at a cemetery after the game. I mean, that's what he said, So unless you're going to, get him for perjury as well, because he's lying. I mean, they were friends.
In this day and age of, but in this day and age of text messages, I mean, you could probably do some discovery.
I imagine that he negotiated. Obviously, Schlossnagel has a manager, an agent, but he probably negotiated directly with Chris Del Conte, Texas AD, right, who is his friend. They're friends.
Yeah.
But I just think the Aggies are probably correct.
But hate
that guy.
Well, but think about it. They weren't and I'm not hating or anything, but
sure,
just to put it into context, they went and plucked old Jimbo out of Florida State before he was done there, didn't they?
No,
was he
fraught
done there?
with hypocrisy. Right. But the idea was if Steve Sarkisian was a really devout Catholic and Notre Dame called and said,
possible for an Iranian? Or Persian? I think he's Persian, right?
I don't know. If he is, let's get rid of him. No, deport him.
Or is he Armenian?
You couldn't fault the guy for talking to Notre Dame, right? Because it's Notre Dame. I mean, when it comes to baseball, and I'm sorry, this is not about being a fan or where you went to school. There's no
Arizona
comparison.
State.
That's right. USC, Texas. I mean, it's one of the absolute LSU. It's one of the Mecca programs
Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Texas more so. You look at it and you cannot fault a coach.
Schlossnagel always say, he did say that was his dream job, right?
Yeah, you can't fault him for that. It's not like they're separate but equal.
Good morning, buddy Stavanoa. Congrats to the Jags and your son Jonathan. They swept Texas College on the weekend.
Good for them.
Yep. And head into their final 4 games of the season.
Man, that season went by quick.
Yeah,
it really did go by quick.
And
6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Seems like it, yeah.
Wow.
End of January till here, and here we are. And CM Barber, don't forget, folks, Republican Victoria County Republican meeting next Monday at the North Building at A&M Victoria. Ken Paxton will be the guest speaker. Potluck starting at 5, so bring your favorite potluckish type meal accoutrement.
He's still doing a lot on behalf of Texas. He's suing people right now.
So he's suing every city in Victoria or in Texas.
Suing them over the CAD and
not disclosing the information they're supposed to. And then I guess he's mad at a few because they didn't disclose the information and then they went and raised their tax rates.
Yeah, without disclosing.
Supposed to do.
Yeah. Very interesting. I don't know if he's going to beat John Cornyn. I don't know if he's going to be if he beats Cornyn. Is it, two things being true at once? Cornyn could win and then beat Tallarico probably on name recognition. If Paxton wins, who I think would be a more active and reliable senator, can he beat Tallarico, who's kind of got the, got the momentum of everybody's mad at the Republicans and the historic change of the guard during these types of elections?
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I have a feeling that there's some moderate Republicans and those that are they're disappointed enough in Cornyn, fed up enough in Cornyn that they may either not cast a ballot for the Senate.
Hate that.
Or
please vote.
They might say, you know what?
I'm voting for Tallarico.
I'm voting for Tallarico. Exactly.
I'm going to make my protest vote.
I think Paxton has a better chance to beat Tallarico than Cornyn. I don't care what the polling says. I think Republicans are fed up with John Cornyn.
Amen.
And you might see a revolt if Cornyn advances. I don't know.
Any Republican that studies politics at all is fed up with Cornyn. Nobody can tell us, oh, John Cornyn, he's great. He's just not. He's been really ineffectual. Is that a word? He hadn't done anything in a long time.
Never seems to take the lead on anything.
No. And now it's a sure sign that you should look at his record.
Skirt the laws when he was going up against Dwayne Stovall for campaign fundraising.
I vote with Donald Trump 97% of the time. Is that a good thing these days? I don't know. Speaking of good thing, ceasefire appears to be holding.
Was anybody like truly, if you really look at what's going on with Iran right now, and a little bit interesting stuff over the weekend, I did a little research on this. Pakistan apparently had to come to the defensive aid of Saudi Arabia when Iran attacked them with drones because, Pakistan and the Saudis have a NATO-like defense agreement that requires Pakistan to come to the rescue and to the aid of Saudi Arabia. So apparently they sent some F-16s and readied a few thousand troops to go to Saudi Arabia to protect against attacks from Iran. At the same time, they're trying to broker peace between Iran and the U.S. So just a little side note on what was going on the weekend.
Right.
But honestly, was anybody really optimistic that peace was going to come out of that 21-hour meeting that J.D. Vance and the Minister of Secretary
General,
whatever he was,
Iran.
Minister from Iran, was really going to?
No.
To me, this was just an opportunity for both sides to double down and say, see, they're not willing to give up nukes, and for Iran to appease to the 2 billion Muslims in the world who will be sympathetic to their, because this is, from Iran's point of view, this is a religious war.
Correct. 100% agree.
Right? And so all they're trying to do is stir up sympathy amongst their brethren. And because they've come out saying the exact same thing to their people. Wow, the U.S. wouldn't agree to any of our 10 points, so I don't know why we had these talks, and it was pointless. And then we're having them with Pakistan, who's now in bed with the Saudis because, they don't like us right now because we attacked them. I was not
optimistic. You're going to see it heat up a little bit. I think you're going to see it's going to be interesting today. The United States Navy is going to be escorting ships, I think, starting now. Am I right?
I think this morning, starting this morning, they will be blockading. And here's the interesting thing, because originally, yesterday it was the media, the U.S. is now going to blockade the strait. No, they're blockading any ships going into and out of Iranian ports. So
it's going to really, really very quickly affect negatively Iran's cash flow and their economy. I think the United States, and you and I've talked about this, they're trying to affect regime change. And I don't know. I agree with you that Donald Trump said, look, we're not going to be the world's police. We're not going to go get involved in some forever war. And I keep coming back. I keep clinging to the hope that Donald Trump was given such irrefutable intelligence that he said, I don't mean him personally, I mean the CIA. He was given intelligence that showed him we need to act now. And I'm very hopeful that in a world where it does appear it's arguable that he has no clear plan for Iran, I'm very hopeful that there's a chess match going on while I'm watching checkers. That's my hope.
I think, and good morning, Funky.
Hi, Funky.
I truly believe if Donald Trump said, you know what, they've got nukes, they're bad to their people. I think if he would have leaned more on that, I think the world might have come around to it a little bit.
But doesn't
better.
That smack of
regime
we're
change,
not
or
going
we're
to be the world's police.
Yeah,
I
think it does.
here's what gets me.
But now the problem with Iran is those that were hoping to see regime change aren't seeing it. They're just seeing the third head of the Hydra that's just as bad as the other two heads of the Hydra, because I don't care. And here's where I differ with the president. Well, we're hoping for a more moderate or a more responsible IRGC.
Religious zealot?
Yes. And those don't exist in theocracies like Iran.
That's
they
right.
don't.
Because the only way to rise to the top is to be the guy that
kills everybody.
That makes everything happen.
They're like Stalin. They're like Lenin. You know, they've been known to assassinate their own political enemies even after they've been sort of in exile. So that's where I think, and this is where I think things are being exposed, is they didn't have a full plan in Iran. And for regime change, but simply going with a softer, gentler Ayatollah
is not going to work.
Isn't going to work
because over time he's going to become hardened like they all do.
That's exactly what they are.
Andrew Alvarez, and for those of you that read between the lines, says there's a Libby glass factory just over the Texas border in Shreveport, Louisiana, that I'm sure would appreciate more glass for their production. He's alluding to the fact that if you nuke Iran and you heat the silica to a decent temperature, it'll turn into glass. I, for a long time, have been a proponent of a glass-topped Middle East. I just have no problem with it.
And I think, the other problem I have is the CIA intel. The CIA has bungled up the Middle East for so long.
Do what we hear and what we know and what we see and what we think we see. I never know. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know what really is going on. I've never been on the surface and at the moment, I'm my country, right or wrong. I'll live and die with what the United States does. But there are times that I know that I've questioned every president, and maybe I'm too trusting, because there have been things that have happened under Obama and things that happened under Biden where I did not blame the president himself. I didn't blame Joe Biden for the administration's stance on COVID, for example. I didn't say Joe Biden messed this up. But in the same breath, Trump is so persuasive, powerful, demanding that I probably lean closer, if something's bungled in the Middle East, to holding him accountable. But I keep the asterisk is I keep believing that the intelligence community has it figured out and that he's responding in some way to them. J.D. Vance, at the very least, coming back and saying no agreement was reached. J.D. Vance also 0 for 1 in the election department as Orban from Hungary gets defeated
off there to do a little last minute campaigning, and that didn't go.
Didn't work. No. I mean, now I did hear this morning from this John Hayward on Breitbart that the new president, if you will, I don't know, is that his role? Whatever he is, the new guy that's taking over for Orban is a spinoff of Orban's party. And the basic consensus is you have a lot of the same policies without a lot of the baggage.
Yeah.
He's connected to Russia. Orban had they said he was too friendly with Russia.
That was part of it. And Orban's administration had become very corrupt. And this guy basically ran. And that's when he left Orban's party, he basically said, I'm tired of the corruption. And so he started his own party. Peter Magyar is the new prime minister of Hungary. And he started a party. And basically, I think in their very first election when they ran candidates, they won like 33% of of the vote. Like they were like hugely popular. They took almost every seat they ran in. And now he wins. But two things. He ran on anti-corruption, and the other thing that I think got Orban in trouble, because don't forget, Hungary used to be under the Soviet Empire. Orban got very friendly with Putin and Russia, and Hungarians didn't like
flowing
that.
Back and forth. That's two good points. Greg Garcia says people are missing the point. The whole point was resetting the world's economy and cutting off China's energy from Iran and Venezuela. I agree, and we talked about that way back when. We talked about that at the time as kind of a side benefit of getting rid of Maduro, is now China and Russia are feeling some oil pressure. Did y'all see the oil tanker traffic in the Gulf of America? Tankers headed for the Strait of Hormuz are now headed to the Gulf.
I don't buy that different oil.
But he's saying it's chess versus checkers. Stephanie Conti gives an example of what I said about Joe Biden. Biden forced vaccines and drew out the pandemic. I agree that the Democrat leadership at that time, following up on the Republican leadership that wasn't ideal at the beginning either.
Trump was the one that mandated and sped up.
Yeah,
Operation Warp Speed was Trump's plan to.
They both bungled it, and yet I put a little asterisk there, and I don't hold either Trump or Biden personally accountable for that. But that doesn't mean that when you get down to the war, that Trump is the guy who made the call. I have to acquiesce that, or accept that that's the fact. I don't think this will go on much longer. I really don't, one way or the other. It seems like we talked about originally he wanted regime change. Now he just wants a kinder, gentler rattlesnake, on his heel. But how do you see it ending? Does it end? I don't know. I don't either. So I just know that if we quarantine, hunker down for 2 weeks, we get to celebrate July 4th. Do you remember how relentlessly we made fun of Joe Biden for that?
Yeah.
You and I be honest, how many times have you and I think I can say at least 3. How many times have we had COVID between us? I've had it 3.
I can't remember if I've had it 2 or 3. I know I've had it 2. I can't remember if I had it a third time.
Now, and be honest, have either of us ever wore a mask in the other's presence? No. We stood right here and did the show, and I now feel like between that herd immunity, between that exposure, and the fact that, and I don't know how to tell you all this, you can say that it's sugar and water, and I'm taking some kind of what do you call it when it's not a placebo. But I take that tube of horse wormer ivermectin. It is literally bought at a feed store.
You can go buy the pills over the counter.
I don't. I want the stuff they give to Secretariat, and you push it out like toothpaste.
It's dead.
Well, not from ivermectin, but I take a little dab like that right there, like out of a toothpaste tube, and I just eat it.
Brent Carter is not a doctor. Wade Carter is not dispensing medical advice.
Ivermectin has not been approved for use in humans to treat or do anything.
It has, just not the equine version.
It works. I'm telling you, I haven't gotten sick in
What's
2
2
years.
plus 2?
7. Wilbur. All right,
you're not on the
all
same
right.
page. I thought you were going to do the whole leg kick.
But we digress.
get
Folks, you've heard us talk about Deerland Feed for sure. The chopping block, let me tell you, yesterday went in, I bought a couple of ribeyes. John Turner was there.
Oh, look. Linda used it in place of jam.
We use it on toast. Yeah, right. Sure. And I brush my teeth with ground up calf's liver. Gross. Anyway, chopping block. We bought a couple of pieces of red meat, but John Turner had just come back from a cook-off, like, I don't know, 500 teams. And he was down. He'd got like a third place, and a fourth. And I'm like, wow. That's awesome. We always say here, like, it's apple flavored, Lisa. Yes, it is apple flavored. It tastes like waxy apples. It tastes like
green apples.
It's like it's if you feel like if you smash it to the roof of your mouth with your tongue when you swallow it, that it kind of stays there. I usually have to get some Tito's and wash it back. John Turnick gave us. He had somebody, he refused to waste food. And somebody who was having a crawfish boil goes, man, I've got some crawfish left over. Do you want them? And John said, sure, I'll take them. And he gave us a bag of crawfish.
Nice.
That we cooked last night. And they were fantastic. You can't buy those at the chopping block, but if you're there at the right time, you may get a deal. Chesnick Furniture, Chesnick and Love make your house a home. Get by and see why you just always do better at Chesnick.
Go see Bobby and the gang, and they can get you in a brand new, too late for the Masters weekend, but you know what? Father's Day is just around the corner. You need a new recliner? Mom likes recliners, too. Mom won't admit it. My daughter will nap in her recliner that she got for her husband just as easily as he will.
There you go. And then Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends, get in and have a great time and support 7 local charities. It's wonderful. Palace Bingo.
And it's a lot of fun.
Is family.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Atzenhofer studio. I have to see my hat here, 1926 to 2026. Atzenhofer, a South Texas tradition now for over 100 years.
Absolutely.
The Atzenhofer dealerships encouraging you to come in where Tommy Taylor said, man, it's always truck month. We are making deals on wheels. Come on in and buy a new Chevy today.
I got to give a shout out to the Jarcalas brothers, Garrett and Matthew. They took away Top Chef honors on Friday night at the 17th annual Top Chef event that benefits the Vine School. The chopping block finished 3rd, but I was told pretty good
from a good source.
Yep. Only 4 votes separated 1st place from 3rd place. That's how close it was.
Fantastic.
1st, 2nd, 3rd. No real runaway winner with it this time.
Chef Daniel didn't do anything.
Yeah, he did a barbecue. He called it a cannoli, barbecue stuffed cannoli with like a raspberry barbecue sauce. It was good. I'd never been to one. I thought, I hope I don't leave here hungry. Nah.
So Caden worked with the chopping block crew, and supposedly
Wally were there.
They smoked chicken wings for like 2.5 hours and then deep fried them. I don't know the gig, but apparently it was good.
They were good wings. Yep. They had a little kick that little heat to them that kind of got you, not like buffalo wings when you're eating them and they're hot right away. And then, because these were a smoky, dry wing, they
snuck up on you.
They had a little aioli or something on the side. It was nice. It was good. Anyway, that you could dip it into. But it kind of got you after you ate it. Then it was like, then you felt the burn. It was good.
Nice.
I liked it. Yeah, really.
There's Sheriff Louderback, AJ Louderback, our House District 30 state rep, checking in. Good morning, sir. Hope you're doing well. Lisa Poole says, mix it with jelly and jam. She's back on the pasty ivermectin.
Yeah.
Not doing it, man. No. Not doing it. I just take it like medicine because that's for me what it is. Yeah. It doesn't taste great and doesn't taste terrible.
You know what? If it tastes good, it doesn't work, right?
Absolutely. Stephanie Connie saying prayers for Bob. That's Bob Constantine. We hope Bob's feeling better. He was kind of under the weather over the weekend.
He was back in Houston. I don't know if he's home yet.
I've had a Brother Gary report. Brother Gary doing better.
Good.
Certainly stable. So good for Brother Gary. Prayers for him as well.
What do you make of the war of words between President Trump and Pope Leo?
A waste of time. The Pope doesn't care at all what Donald Trump says, and Donald Trump can't get too wrapped up in what the Pope says either. I mean, remember, this is the same Pope that just last week said essentially that the U.S. should lay down their weapons. And, I don't know. It's the Pope. He's got to say something polite, right? Like, hey, we need to stop fighting. Isn't that very papal? That's what you do. Let's quit fighting. But then look, here's Trump just being Trump. Leo should be thankful because, as everyone knows, he was a shocking surprise. He wasn't on any list to be Pope and was only put there by the church because he was an American and they thought it would be the best way to deal with President Donald J. Trump. If I wasn't in the White House, Leo wouldn't be in the Vatican. Now, look, that may be true, but you shouldn't say that, Mr. President. I don't think it's true either. But at the end of the day, honestly, and maybe it's bad. Maybe, I don't know. I think about our predominantly Catholic listenership on Magic 95.9, and I have to ask you, honestly, do you really care who the Pope is? I mean, you worship locally. I understand the hierarchy of the church. I get it that that's your guy. But because Donald Trump says that Pope Leo is weak on crime, does that matter? And can it ever, there's 1.4 billion Catholics. Can it ever make sense for a United States president to belittle in any way the most powerful religious leader, certainly on the Christian side of the world? I don't think it makes any sense at all. Why do it? Why engage that guy?
I mean, when the Catholics were big on crime, anyway.
Trump says he's just not a big fan. Okay.
Well, I mean, you're Episcopalian, I guess, isn't he? Or Anglican? I don't know. But I mean,
son-in-law's Jewish.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Chris says, I'm not Catholic, but was very proud an American became the Pope for the first time.
I think it's quite when you consider that those civilizations, I mean, I was in Salzburg, Austria years ago, and remember my guide saying people have been trading these little 6-inch square stones. And she said, they're 14 inches deep and they've been here for 1,500 years. People have been trading on this patio here for 1,500 years. We're celebrating our 250th year as a country. So it's a big deal that that the Pope was finally selected from the United States. But I don't know if it's a big deal. It certainly is as much a political appointment as it is a religious appointment to be Pope.
And it's interesting. It's almost like nominations for Democrat or Republican. You don't win the first time around. You got to go get more votes and get everybody. It's like a political rally in a way.
Now, I have a dumb question.
David Brogger, Melissa Hanson, check it in.
Does this Pope, does he need to be, and is he probably like fluent in Italian and fluent in Latin?
I was listening to him speak on the weekend, and actually, I till they said it was Pope Leo.
He's got an accent now, doesn't he?
He does not sound
European.
like he's from Chicago at all. No.
Chicago.
There was no use guys.
Yeah. I need you knuckleheads, you good fellows to settle down.
There was none of that.
But no. He sounds European.
But should the Pope have even addressed it?
Probably not.
I mean, did he have to? This is where the American and the Pope, you can take the Pope out of America, but you can't take the American out of the Pope, right?
Right. I'm not afraid of Donald Trump.
He didn't have to get into the war of words with Donald Trump.
That's right. 100% agree with that. He's a lot of ways, he should be way above it.
I mean, and he's next to God.
In theory.
In the hierarchy.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the case, he could have just gone, hey, God, do me a solid.
Zap that guy for me.
Set this guy straight.
Turn his water into wine.
He's bugging me, Dad.
Right. Yeah, no kidding. Please, no lightning indoors. No lightning indoors, Lord.
But I just think, I don't recall a Pope ever getting to war of words specifically with a head of state.
And what's interesting is you can't be in any way surprised that he doesn't say, bomb him. I mean, of course, he's the Pope. He wants to wish peace upon everyone. But say Stephanie Connie with the broad brush stereotypes says he's a leftist. Hard to argue. I mean, why engage with the president? Why even stoop?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you see there, bud?
I see that Friday, Committee of House Representatives voting 6-5, party line vote.
Yeah.
$422,000 in fines will be imposed on the 52 Democrats who broke quorum last summer to delay the vote on congressional redistricting.
Come on. How do you feel about it? They got it coming? I mean, come on.
I mean, they get to use campaign funds apparently to pay for it.
Well, that's great. So they have to come raise money from you so they can pay their fines to not do their job. Interesting. We need to get.
Remember when they were knocking Donald Trump for raising money for his legal bills?
Yeah.
How are they gonna spin this one then?
The next time the sheriff's on, we'll talk to him about it. It says State Rep Gene Wu, who's the chair of the House Democratic Caucus, said members are reviewing their options, claiming that state law allows fines to be paid from funds. He argued that the fines weren't clearly specified beforehand and that members haven't been given the opportunity to contest them. So now he says, you should have told me what I was risking before I left, and then I deserve due process.
I seem to recall in the summer we talked about them being fined if they went to Illinois. Remember?
We did.
Come on up here, said J.D. Pritzker.
Yeah. Stay in my Hyatt for free.
Yeah. I wonder if that can be construed as a campaign contribution.
I can just tell you from observation of the last session, any side that Gene Wu is on is the 10% wrong side. I've observed him closely, and Representative Wu is very vocal and always wrong.
Well, the committee did adjust the fines because originally they were going to fine him for 14 days. They took away the 2 Sundays in which the House wouldn't be present anyway and didn't meet. So now they're only fined for 12 days.
That seems fair.
But works out to about $422,000 in total fines.
Divided by 52 Democrats is only about $8,000 a piece.
Plus almost 120 grand that needs to be reimbursed to DPS for trying to compel those lawmakers back.
Do this for me.
Monica Joe says instead of fines, doctor pay. That's the problem. I don't think they get paid.
They don't get
much.
paid enough to do that. Yeah, no. They don't get paid anything. Tell you what, take a break. I'll come back. We'll talk school bond.
All right. Let's do that. Veracruz, get back into Veracruz today. Entire menu except for the caldo on the menu. Go wish Ida a happy belated birthday and enjoy lunch or dinner at Veracruz restaurant. I think simply the best Mexican food in town, period. Wen services for all your electrical needs. Give Wen a call if you have any sort of issues with electricity. You want more outlets. I'm finding as I've moved into a new place, I don't have all the power outlets where I need them to be for, keeping things charged. So eventually Went will get a call from me as well. And also now's the time to get on their list if you want a whole home backup generator just in time for storm season, because we're expecting 13 named storms this hurricane season as prognosticated by the folks at Colorado State University who do that sort of thing. Talked about the First State Bank of Louise and how bad the Astros are doing. Talked about Veracruz. I think we're caught up now.
There you go.
There we go.
So I want to talk to you. We have not talked about this. I always like to let our audience know there are lots of things that Ash and I talk about over the weekend. I think I talked to you 3 times yesterday.
All baseball related.
Yes, and golf and crawfish. But I'm at a spot where I'm not sure. Like, it'd be easy to go off on some kind of a tangent rant or something. I'm not that way because everybody involved is a friend of mine. But I am curious your take on some of the social media blitz that is anti-school bond, and I'll give you 2 examples. One is former school board member Lou Svetlik, nice guy, friend of mine, probably listening. So good morning, Lou. Is adamantly against the bond and says that, and I don't. You can go look up Lou and read what he says, but it's all in all caps, and he's telling you that merging some of the schools and adding on is
when the research shows that smaller schools are better for outcomes.
Right. Except, see, and I'm not trying to argue with Lou when Lou's not here to defend his point, but if I can close O'Connor and roll those kids 900 feet into Torres, and now I've just got one roof to maintain, one set of air conditioners to maintain, one kitchen to stock, one cafeteria to service. I think it's a good thing. And it's all given that while that new school has the capacity to hold 700 kids, it would be holding just under 500, which is right where Schalimer and Vickers and all those schools are anyway. So it's not like we're creating some mega school that makes the district look ineffective. But one of the things, and you always have to watch when the truth is being used in a way that the truth wasn't meant to be used, you always have to question the source, right? Somebody put on there, this needs to be investigated. VISD is telling seniors in high school that they need to register to vote, and then they're going to be made to vote right there at the school. Well, I reached out to several people who are in the know in the district and found out that forever, the high schools have promoted that, hey, if you turn 18, you should register to vote. I think that's a very responsible message for the school to send to students. And our high schools, both high schools, are polling places. So it's a little misleading that, Ash, you need to register to vote and you need to vote for this bond. That's not happening. And it didn't happen. So when you use that.
And isn't the election day on a Saturday? How many kids are going to go back to their school on a Saturday?
Correct.
None.
Yeah. Is it Saturday?
Unless they got detention.
Maybe it's a Tuesday. I don't know. So
election day is a Saturday.
Yeah, very interesting. I don't know where you stand, but in an election season when so many of us don't want our taxes to go up. We don't want our taxes to go up. Nobody does. And yet we can make the argument, and we always say liars figure and figures lie. So I can go against the school district on this. They're saying, well, look, your tax rate was X and we dropped it to this, but now we need to just raise it back almost to where it was and we get a lot more money. It's almost like there's the P. Now keep an eye on it. We're going to move these around. And there it is again. I don't know how you feel about that, but in a season where there's a lot of pressure against affirming a school bond, you wonder if that social media display by a former school board member does that. Well done. First rule of radio: never bang your cocktail against the microphone. You wonder if that is enough to tip it over to where the bond doesn't pass. I've heard lots and lots of positive response to the idea that the district is kind of admitting, hey, there have been sins in the past. There have been lacks of responsibility in the past, because you could very quickly turn to Lou Svetlik and go, well, how did we get here, Lou? It happened on your watch that all these buildings fell into disrepair. I thought Lou Svetlik did a great job on the school board. So, I'm torn because he is a friend of mine.
But 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, our M&O tax rate was 91 cents.
Okay.
This year it's 69 cents.
So that's
22 cents roughly.
Plus
somewhere
minus,
there.
yeah.
So Canadian math.
23.
Yeah. Plus
30 in Canadian cents.
Well, the exchange rate.
Right.
Based on Canadian dollars. So
they could have just left it there, right?
Well, and maybe they should have, and we wouldn't need a $240 million bond. It was kind of where I was getting with this, because some of that money, and here's the fallacy though. M&O money can be used for maintenance. It can be used for HVACs. It can be used for roof repairs, despite them saying it can't. It can't be used for renovations. It can't be used for construction.
Doesn't M&O mean maintenance and operations?
Yeah. But they always say, well, we use it for salaries and this. No, it can be used for maintenance. But here's the other question I had, because I got that newspapery looking thing about the bond that was on bad newsprint, by the way.
Yeah, I got one too.
Cheap one.
Trying to keep the cost down.
Where's the $140,000 homestead exemption that they use? Because have you ever noticed the math? They always get you to $100,000. The average home is $100,000, right?
In this town.
And this one, they said, well, a home of $240,000 minus $140,000 in exemptions gets you to that $100,000, where they figure in it's 21 cents per whatever.
Robert Howard with a solid point. He says, but property values have tripled. But oh, by the way, Robert, the tax exemption went from 25,000 to 140,000. And I've seen
100,000. I don't know where the 40 comes. I've looked. I looked online.
Oh, you're right. It's only
the homestead exemption is $100,000,
not 140.
I don't know where the 40 comes from. That this newspaper was sent out was using the math, and I meant to bring it today, and I'll bring it tomorrow. But it says the exemption's $140,000, and it gets you down to that $100,000 magical number that, as long as I've lived here, is the number that pro bond people have always tried to push out as the number to base your taxes on.
until you realize your house
It's
costs
worth 500,000. Yeah.
But you realize
So,
that
if anybody knows where the 140 comes from, please let me know, because I don't know.
Look, Andrew Rogovich, it gets to 140 this year. Micah Patton, nope, it's 140. That passed in 2020.
Good to know. Thank you. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to know.
Can't mess with you this morning. Your hair is so on point. Did
No,
you put like just a little color in that?
No color in there.
You sure?
Absolutely. Not even that just for men.
That touch up
gray shampoo, disappearing shampoo. Not
nice. No. So, Micah, you see.
Thank you. I'm glad. Thank you for clarifying that, because I didn't know.
Like to see Micah Patton checking in. I did look at the math, and by the way, had they passed the 159 million they wanted a couple of years ago at the current at those exemption rates, 25,000 exempt, you would pay more dollars than you will pay dollars now at the 140,000 exemption rate. I mean, the numbers. I'll say this. We all are going to feel some pain. I think for me, it's probably a little over $20 a month. I think
that's based on the 100,000.
Yeah, no, that's right. It's going to cost me a little bit. It is, but it's cheaper than it's ever going to be. And of course, see, I deal in the insurance business. I tell people all the time, hey, I'm sorry. It's a bad deal, but it's the best bad deal you're going to get. Because I've looked at everything, everybody, 9 ways to Sunday, as they say.
But when our M&O was 91 cents or whatever it was, 91 cents per $100, right?
So why did they drop it to 69?
Well, why? That was under Quentin Shepard's watch. I don't know.
He thought he was going to promote a bond.
I think so. So he wanted to lower. That's why I think the game was being played. I could be wrong here, but he wanted to pass a bond. So he lowered the rate so then they could increase the rate on the INS side for the bond, right?
Right.
And say, well, your taxes are not going to be where they were. But here's my question. When we were taxing at 91 cents, where did all that money go? Because we've been told, well, we never paid teachers very much.
And we couldn't afford
and we couldn't afford the deferred maintenance on these things.
They did kick the can down the road.
Where's the 22 cents that we used to tax? We were able to get it to 69 a couple of years ago and keep it there. I want to know where all that money went.
Patrick Strauss says that's the bottom line. You will pay more. Now, he doesn't say we will pay more, because Patrick Strauss is moving to Louisville. He will be missed. He'll still be checking in. For all we know, he's in Louisville.
He probably will pay a
right
state
now.
income tax in Kentucky. I don't know.
Well, he's retired.
It's just true.
Doesn't have any income.
That is still some. Can't live for nothing.
Him and Lori just living on love.
Lori
and bourbon.
Lori's going to get the sewing machine out and start making clothes to rival the Amish.
What do you do? Do you move to Kentucky and just move directly into a rehab facility? Is that where you live? You get 3 hots and a cot.
No, you get a pick line and an IV, and just
3 hots, a cot, and a couple of shots. Yeah,
bag of Makers hanging up there.
Just get you a bag of Makers.
That's what people don't realize in Kentucky. They sell bourbon in bags, IV bags up there.
Just mainline it. It's beautiful. We're going to be joined in the next couple of days. My friend Mickey Costello, who I'm always amazed. So with the possible exception of our really good friend Christy Euchre, who runs runs the Keep Victoria Beautiful program, I've never seen anyone adapt and mature in the public sector as quickly as Mickey. He does a really fine job of explaining what's going on in just everyman terms. He's a very, very likable. I know him to be a very honest friend. And Mickey will come in and say, hey, I've got kids in the district, and here's what's going on. I think he does a great job. And he's going to come in and answer the ultimate question, which is, how do we know that when we approve this bond, how do we know that 10 years from now, you're not right back here saying, I need $400 million? How do we know that's going to happen? And man, I got the Cliff's Notes version of that, and I think you'll be pleased with it. I do. I think you'll like his answer. Torrin Bales, good morning, my brother. Torrin Bales could just stroke a check and pay off all that debt. It would bounce, but he could write the check. He could do that.
It could bounce.
He's like me. Do you still have a checkbook?
I do.
Yeah.
Did you watch the splashdown of Artemis 2 on Saturday?
I know. I heard that they need to go to the bathroom
Friday?
so bad they landed on a Buc-ee's.
How come they didn't? Is it just me, or maybe my memory is not as good as it was? But I swore when all those original astronauts came back from space, they were like quarantined for weeks.
They
They're
never
back
found
with their
anything.
family this weekend.
Yeah, they never found anything that made them need to be quarantined. I thought it was so cool. So when the capsule lands in the water, immediately, poof, this big blow up thing about 5 feet in diameter or in depth surrounds the capsule to stabilize it, and so the astronauts can step out onto that. And the official NASA term for that apparatus, porch.
Oh,
the porch deployed.
If I'm not mistaken, Bill Posey, when he was working on Apollo recovery, his job was to actually secure that.
Yes.
To the.
He said, "Oh yeah, it looks so simple, but that
back.
capsule's pitching like 12 feet down, up. You grab a hold of it, it yanks you out of the water."
And they were in the water for like hours at a time.
He said he was throwing up and everything else. So awesome. Thank you,
yeah.
John Anderson, checking in from the Carolinas.
Yeah.
John, where are you exactly?
North Carolina.
Somewhere in North Carolina.
Yeah. But yeah, I saw a video of Bill talking about that when he was on. It was pretty cool. And then Astros fans, sad news, Phil Garner passed away over the weekend.
Scrap iron.
Saturday. It was confirmed yesterday by his wife, Carol. Got a chance to meet Phil a couple of times, worked with him for about 10 games.
Nice guy, wasn't he?
Great guy. Very approachable, very nice. What people don't remember, there's a tie to him in the UHV Jaguars in 2008, the very first season of baseball. Terry Poole was the head coach, but he was also the head coach of the Canadian national baseball team. And in the middle of our season, Terry had to coach the Canadian team at an Olympic qualifier in Cuba. And we needed a coach to step in because
called his friend
Doug was a volunteer coach that first year. He wasn't even on the payroll. Terry was the only coach on the payroll that very first year. And so he called Phil Garner, who was, dismissed about a year earlier, 2 years by the Astros. He was sitting around not doing much. And Phil agreed to come in and be the interim coach for 10 games.
Isn't that awesome?
He went 9-1.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I wasn't necessarily around them, but they must have had one hell of an athletic director to pull that, to get Terry Poole to come be the coach, knowing what that position paid at the time. Yeah. And to give him a volunteer coach. And how much has that worked out? Doug Heinold, such a great pitching coach, a great calming force among the players, led a direct lineage to Jonathan Stavinoa. So, yeah, man, that guy must have been something.
He was pretty good.
Yeah.
Different time.
It sure was. Sensible time. Courtney Amsler asked, I was trying to remember what was proposed for Stroman during the last bond.
I think they were going to tear down part of it and rebuild there, if I remember.
That place, it's got asbestos. You can be, people can be nostalgic and go, man, I'm going to miss Stroman. Well, just miss it. It needs to be torn down. It was never, it can't be easily converted to a junior high.
No, I saw somebody comment like they're voting for this bond, even though that this will mean that their two schools they attended, their elementary and their high school, will no longer exist.
That's just how you know you're getting old. Folks, thanks for tuning in always. Thank you, Atzenhofer. Atzenhofer.com. While you're at work, you're not doing nothing on a Monday. Check out Atzenhofer.com and see all the gently pre-owned and certified vehicles. We wish you guys nothing but a great week. You can't win the week if you don't win Monday.
Go check out my used car, my pre-owned car of the week. It's a 2020 Chevy Malibu. under 18 grand, only 27,000 miles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Under
Great deal.
18 grand. Great for that college kid.
Absolutely.
Be safe, folks.
Bye, folks.
Bye-bye.